morning to tech freelancers all over the Philippines, and welcome to our TaoCrowd launch. I hope you are all feeling good this morning, and if you are, how about a thumbs up? Thumbs up? That is perfect. So just for the information of everyone, we are live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. So please do let your friends and your family know, especially if they are into creative. So how about we start with some shout outs for our viewers. We have Jomar from Baguio City. Hello, hello. We also have Mark from Cebu, Nathan from Cagayan de Oro, and the hundreds of you joining us this morning. Again, welcome to TaoCrowd. My name is Apple David, an ambassador at TaoCrowd. And siguro marami sa inyo ang nagtataka or ang pinaka-importanting tanong ngayong umaga is that ano nga ba ang TaoCrowd? Well, in a nutshell, TaoCrowd is the fastest growing freelancer network for creatives only here in the Philippines. And today, pag-uusapan natin how and why you should join TaoCrowd. And basically, sasagutin natin yung 3 basic questions. Number 1, what is TaoCrowd? Who are the people behind it? Pangalawa dyan, what health card? Yes, you heard that right. Health card and other freelancer benefits you can get by joining TaoCrowd. And finally, what are the 300 plus one-day projects we are giving out this week? And let me just share with you some of the interesting facts for today. Alam nyo ba na we are 500 strong? Yes, more than 500 participants joining us today from 81 cities and municipalities with 50, yes, 50 one-day projects available this week, and a total of 500 projects that we will be giving out this month of August. And lastly, bibigyan natin yan sa 26 TaoCrowd partners. So, with that, we want you, yes, you watching right now, to be part of a TaoCrowd. So, kung hindi pa kayo nakakapag-submit na inyong application, please do so and check out TaoCrowd.com. So, I know you're all excited. Gumising kayo ng maaga just to be with us this morning. So let's get the ball rolling, and it's time to introduce to you our panel for today. We will be starting off with the CEO of August 99. Give it up for Mr. Tiger Bitanga.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir. Next up, we have the group head of Writer's Block at August 99, Ms. Noe Torre.
Hi, good morning.
Hello. Next, our people and culture team, Bernice.
Hello. Good morning, Apple.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hazel.
Good morning.
AC. And completing our panel is Vic.
Hello, hello.
And now that we are complete, without further ado, let us start with our first question, at manggagaling yan sa akin. So kanina, briefly, I told you guys what TaoCrowd is, but now it is time to go in-depth. Kumbaga, more getting to know each other. So, what is TaoCrowd, and what are, who are the people behind TaoCrowd?
All right. Hi, good morning. Name is Vic Cordon, Senior Officer for People and Culture. So, yung TaoCrowd, it's a community of tech freelancers, no? So, nagsimula siya back in 2012, 2013, spearheaded by August 99, of course, with the leadership ni Tiger. So, in a nutshell, nung nagsimula to, maganda yung idea. It's just that that time, hindi pa talaga, tingin namin, may nakita kaming na hindi pa ready, na may mga kulang pa na components. And then, nangyari, unfortunately, yung pandemic, followed by the lockdown. Pero dito, nakita namin yung shift ng mentality ng tao. Mas naging open pareho. Employees, employers to do work from home. Mas nakita nila yung need na, ang dami ko ng extrang oras. Baka pwede na akong kumuha ng side hustle or ng racket, ika nga nila. Ngayon, nung nangyari to, mas nakita namin na perfect yung timing. Nagkaroon ng hulma or shape yung goals natin. And ano tong mga goals na to is to provide yung mga Filipino tech freelancers natin ng dagdag projects, allow them or hayaan natin sila makapag-kumpleto ng project kahit saan sa Pilipinas, and at the same time magkaroon sila ng access sa mga benefits na normally nabibigay lang sa mga full-time employees.
So say that I'm a creative freelancer. Tanong ngayon, why? Why should I join TaoCrowd? Ano ba ang benefit?
I think we have 3 things to highlight for aspiring creatives, designers, web developers, writers who would want to join TaoCrowd. Number 1, Vic already mentioned this one as well. Especially for individuals na maraming free time, we offer one-day projects. Usually, for freelancers, they get a project na they have to complete in a month. They have to turn over revisions and all that. But here at TaoCrowd, meron mga one-day projects that you could work on your spare time, let's say on a weekend, so that it doesn't interfere maybe with your 8 to 5, with your other side gigs, with your hobby, etc. Of course, that doesn't mean na wala kaming ibang projects. We have other projects which might be longer. But yes, I think what we want to highlight is, as a freelancer, as a creative, you have the power to control your time and your productivity, depending how you see fit. And I'd also like to add, if ever you nakapass ka and you become a successful sign-up, na nabigyan ka na ng projects, and then when you start leveling within the community, you begin to receive medical benefits, and then I'd like to highlight yung payment method din namin. We do payments via Security Bank, not PayPal, pero at least it's more accessible here in the Philippines, given na mostly online na lahat, paying the Meralco and all the electricity bills, the water bills, and all that. And with the medical benefits, if you level up continuously, we offer medical HMO coverage under Medicard.
Alam mo, after hearing that, parang gusto ko mag-take a break. Magsasubmit lang muna ako ng application form ko. But for those viewers na hindi pa convinced, what makes TaoCrowd different from other freelancer platforms?
Well, number 1, we look at ourselves as a community more than a platform. Platforms include Upwork, Fiverr, freelancer.com, and a lot of these are focused globally, right? So it's very hyper competitive. Versus TaoCrowd, we're focused locally. We're owned by Filipinos, we're operated by Filipinos, and we're for the Philippines. So especially in this time, like Vic alluded to, it's a time where people need health benefits. People are looking for projects. Whether you're the weekend warrior or doing full-time freelancing, we want to be a source for those projects. And as a company, we've committed to 20% of all of our projects are going to be going towards TaoCrowd. That's equivalent to somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 to 200 projects every month. So it's our way of helping out. At the same time, for our company, which is growing right now, we're looking at it as a way to quickly get some of the stuff that we need to get out as fast as possible. So we want super experienced people, to be joining. And as opposed to other platforms, ours is invite or referral basis only. So we're looking for the best talent. I think in platforms like Upwork, it's really anybody can join it. And then there's a fee, So every time you bid on a project, you're working against somebody from another country and who might have a lower rate, might not have the experience that you do. And even if you don't get the project, may fee yun eh. So you're looking at 10 cents to 50 cents for every bid that you do. Then if you get the project, you have to pay 9 to 20% of the total fee. So there's no fees with ours. Everything is for free. Our focus is partner first. In other words, it's not the client who always wins. So in a lot of platforms, if there's any sort of complaint, most of the time you're going to lose that complaint, right? Because they are focused on the client. We're focused on the partner because we know if we take care of our partners, they'll take care of us, right? And then the last thing is the bid process. Ours is first come, first serve. So once you become a member of our community, it's really simple. You go on Slack, you say that you're available, you pick a project, you take the project. there is no bid process. It's really, it's just say you're available. It's raise your hand. So there, if we have projects available, we'll let them be shown any day of the night on our Slack channel. And then lastly, we have a really awesome team here. I'm super proud of our people and culture team here, our division heads and everything. This is not, if you have a problem, you call into a call center, may ticket or something, and you get an automated email. This is literally real people you're talking to with real names, and you'll get to know a lot of the people in our team as we go along.
That's good to know, sir. And I'm pretty sure yung mga viewers natin, may mga nakataas na yung kamay dyan, wanting to ask more questions. Well, good news for our viewers. You can actually ask your questions anytime because we have here AC answering on Facebook.
Hello, I'm AC.
And we also have Hazel on YouTube.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hazel.
So again, feel free to ask your questions. Just throw it out there and we will try to answer all of those in just a little while. But right now, it is time to introduce to you our other leaders, projects, and the TaoCrowd partners at August 99. Here is a brief video before we dive into the Q&A.
Hi, my name is Noe, and I'm the group head of Writer's Block. At Writer's Block, we create written content for businesses across a wide range of industries. And this ranges from blog posts to long-form content to LinkedIn profiles and social media posts. We are a mixed group of in-house and freelance writers and editors, and we have been successfully working remotely since 2017. A typical week for our writers is working on anything from a 500-word blog post about interior design trends in Los Angeles to something as in-depth as a 3,000-word guide on digital marketing. So you're never gonna get bored, essentially, because we have a broad range of topics to write about and all kinds of clients with different needs. As a freelancer, the kind of projects you want to work on and the amount of projects you want to work on, it's up to you. So we have people who do just 3 pages a week, and we have people who do up to 10 or more. Freelancers work directly with our editorial team, which is a group of really experienced editors who have spent years mentoring other writers and know what to do to help, especially new writers, find the right voice and find the right style for our clients. So right now we have around, on average, 300 to 400 pages a month that we need to complete. And I'm thinking of getting help from TaoCrowd partners for around 40% of those pages. So that's a lot of pages. And that's why we're reaching out to any would-be writer out there. Or if you already are, even better. What we're looking for, it's not necessarily experience. You don't have to have a broad portfolio, but we do want to see a good command of the English language because you'll be writing for North American clients mostly. So if you think this is something that you want to do, just send us your resume and your portfolio and we'll go from there.
Hi, I'm Rachel Demesa, and I work with a team of designers, and we're called Design Hub. As creative director of Design Hub, I'm actually in charge of helping the designers along their career path and guiding them along the way as they progress from a newbie designer up until they're more senior and more tenured. Design Hub is a group that is dedicated to building brand identity for our different clients. We try to make something unique every time we start a new project or a new design. And actually that's what Design Hub is really good at, and that's what we bring to the table. We try not to be like a cookie cutter template design company. We make sure that all of our designs are handcrafted and well thought of, to make sure that each of our clients get the experience that they really want and that they deserve. So if you ask like what type of projects we handle, most of them are really full custom, true custom websites, logo designs built from scratch, and the type of projects and tasks that we handle vary from day to day, but it's usually a mixed bag of anything that requires some sort of online presence. So let's say a client would come up to us asking for a totally different new logo for a new company that they're building, or they also want like a landing page to present a new promo, or they actually need a website done. Some of them don't have websites at all, so that's where they ask Design Hub for us to help out in the process, is to kind of make sure that everything is cohesive from a branding standpoint, that everything matches and coordinates well, that fonts and colors, all of the design basics are all taken care of. Usually our clients are not that savvy when it comes to design, so they actually rely on our expertise and our training and all of that knowledge to make sure that we bring forth a quality product each time. Okay, so to give you an idea of what usually happens in a day of a web designer or a visual designer, so usually at the start of the day, that's the time when you would review all of the available tasks on our list, and then from there you pick and choose actually which one you're most interested in working on. From there, that's the confirmation step. If you choose a specific task and you know that you have the skills to meet that deadline, that's when you say yes and you commit to that project. And then from there, it's a process of also communicating with your mentor and your senior designer that you're working with to make sure that all of your materials are lined up and ready to go. After that, there's a series of steps that you want to do to kind of research on your client and their goals, just to make sure that before you actually start on that task, you're confident with what you're bringing to the table, that you know exactly what to do. And then from there, start making your wireframe and your drafts, and start designing. Basically, I mean, everyone has their own process. And then towards the end of the day, we also try to incorporate a step where you communicate with your team members and your seniors, again, just to get feedback and make sure that what you did is on track and it fits the client's goals. On average, we actually have a lot of tasks on our plate, and actually that's why we're extending our platform to a wider audience with TaoCrowd. We're looking for new talent out there who really can help us with all of these creative projects that are on our plate. Obviously, as a designer, there's only so much you can do in a given day, and then you would be drained of your creative juices. So if we have the help of a wider pool of talent, then we can essentially create more things and get more things done. The number of tasks that we handle can actually skyrocket to like hundreds and thousands on a monthly basis. So we're gonna start things small with TaoCrowd. Probably in the first couple of weeks we'd only have like maybe 10 tasks that are available on the platform. But as we scale up and as we get to meet more people, that number can easily go up to maybe 50 a month or 100 a month. Because we always have that steady flow of tasks coming in from different clients around the world. So I guess that's my invitation to everyone, is to make sure that you, whenever you apply to TaoCrowd, make sure you're confident with your portfolio and the skills that you can present to the team, and we'll help you kind of grow in your career step by step, and we'll mentor you every step of the way. Always feel free to ask questions whenever you aren't sure about something, and that's usually what Design Hub is known for, just that teamwork and team spirit. There are no stupid questions. Obviously, we'll help you as you progress through the platform and through your career, because we want to make sure that you are taken care of every step of the way.
I'm Davis, and I'm the Group Executive for Dev Central. I lead a team of full-stack developers, migration specialists, and quality analysts. I coordinate with project stakeholders and production teams to make sure that client solutions are delivered. My team specializes in creating solutions for various industries, including real estate and retail. We specialize in different platforms, including WordPress, Laravel, and Shopify, to deliver solutions. A typical day for a developer is challenging and rewarding. Developers may be asked to handle one project per day, and they may be required to assist other developers in other projects when needed. At the end of the day, we are committed to building great customer experiences. My team handles about 50 to 100 projects per month. Depending on a TaoCrowd partner's availability, he may be able to handle 1 to 4 projects per month. A TaoCrowd partner must be self-sufficient and reliable. We expect a high degree of professionalism and a commitment to completing our projects on time.
Hi, I'm Aisha Colado. I head the group called Dojo. We are a team of IT professionals dedicated to helping our clients define their brand identity online. Through Dojo's IT outsourcing services, digital agencies and businesses can hire incredible talent at a cost that won't break the bank. The goal is to provide long-term solutions to address the pain points of our clients. So having reliable IT people and upscale technologies and solid processes are the key. We create extraordinary customer experience for tech firms by building teams that embody their company culture. We help clients extend their business's capabilities by providing IT teams that can be deployed in an instant, and that's where TaoCrowd comes in. As a freelancer, you decide on the number of projects you work on. Your hours are up to you. We strive to keep our clients happy and satisfied with their investment, so positive client reviews and word-of-mouth referrals are big wins for us. If you're interested to be part of the team, send us your resume now.
So you just saw our Hall of Famers, and we are actually sending them our swag kits. And if you're wondering, paano ba maging Hall of Famer? Well, you just have to complete 250 projects, and ta-da! Welcome to the Hall of Fame! So, to our viewers, ito na yung pinakihintay nyo. This is the part where we answer and entertain their questions. So, Bernice, are we ready for the first question?
Yeah, actually, we have our first question directly for Noe here, our head of the Writer's Block team. So, an aspiring writer sent in a question to know more, ano yung technicalities that they need to keep in mind whenever they be a successful writer for Writer's Block. So, what's the usual word count? And then length of the project, the timeline that they need to turn it over to you guys, and the number of revisions needed.
Okay, so in terms of number of words, we have a wide range of phases. So some of them are going to be 500-word blog posts. Some are going to be 2,500-word in-depth community guides, and or digital marketing guides, and so on. So The deadlines for those will depend on the difficulty as well as the bandwidth of the TaoCrowd partner that we're working with, right? We're not going to impose deadlines that the person cannot meet. So, but for the basic tasks, so you have an idea. Let's say I send you 3 500-word pages on a Friday, then I'm gonna expect it back the next Friday. So the turnaround time is around a week for 1,500 words, which most writers can do, even if they're working on just the weekend. Yeah. What else? What was your other question?
And then aside from that, how about the revisions?
The revisions. Yes. For our partners, we have up to 2 revisions.
Okay.
Because the work doesn't just get sent to the client. We have editorial oversight. I have a really great team of very experienced editors who take a look at the work, decide whether or not it needs revising, and they will also lightly edit and also provide feedback to the writers when needed. So it's actually a very mentoring kind of relationship, which also is what distinguishes us from other platforms, you can say, because you'll be working with actual editors who will care whether or not you're doing a good job and whether or not you're going to get better as a writer.
Okay, so we have our first question from YouTube. This one is from Leia Bolante. How do you encourage growth among freelancers? What upskilling initiatives are you looking into?
Right, yeah. First off, just looking at the Hall of Famers, I just wanted to give a quick shout out. I saw Nico's name there, Nico Madraso, old school, John Natividad. Easily between the both of them, they've probably done more than 250 projects in their lifetimes. But for TaoCrowd, the Hall of Fame level, I would say is 25 projects. But Nico, easily 250, legend. So, thanks guys for being with us. So the question is, how do you level up or encourage and training? So we have something that we call Tao Academy. We've invested in making sure that we're growing our skill sets, and I think by very nature, a lot of freelancers stay ahead of the game. They're constantly looking at blogs and whatnot. We want to enhance and supplement that. And part of that is, we actually just starting today, we have a new learning and development manager. Yeah. For people who have been with the company, last year, especially when you could still do events in Loft, we were doing upskilling and training certification for various development work. So it's been pretty good. We want to continue that. In fact, one of the things we're going to be doing is Tao Tuesdays. So every month, we're probably going to have a new speaker. And I think some of those are going to turn into learning sessions as well. So what we want to do is not only just increase your level of knowledge, but also certify you with it, in terms of our own Tao Academy.
Ready with our next question?
So we have a question from Facebook. We have a question from Cynthia of Negros. So how can I access these projects?
That's a great question. I think the best person to answer it actually is Noe. She's been doing this since 2017 with probably 40% of our work sourced out to our TaoCrowd partners. No?
Yes, thereabouts. Yeah. All right. Well, specifically for writers, how you get onto the platform is you just send an application with your resume. If you have a portfolio, definitely include that. If you do not have a portfolio because you're just starting out, that's okay. We do have a skills test that we will send you, and when we get it back, then we will decide whether or not we'll test you out. So we have a testing phase a little bit, which means that we'll send you a test project once you've been initially screened, which this test project will be paid, by the way. So it's a paid test project. And then when we like what you've given us, we will officially sign you up, and you'll be officially a part of TaoCrowd. It's as easy as that.
Okay, and then another one from YouTube. This one is from MCN from Pasig. How much do you cut from your freelancers?
The answer to that is actually 0. So there's no cut, there's no bid fee. Our interest is making sure that when you see a project and you see a cost associated to the project, that's the full amount that you're getting. So there's no additional percentage fees attached to that. I do want to add, and I'm sure our finance manager, our head of money matters, and might correct me. There might be taxes associated with that, So when we deposit funds into your account, I think as technically a contractor, there might be a percentage that the government takes as we deposit that to your security MasterCard.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Facebook from Alex of Batangas. What will be the schedule in hours? Is it fixed, flexible, or hourly basis, or output based?
Yeah, that's another great question. So August 99 is we're a full service. Technically, we're a BPO. So our clients are from all over. We have clients from the UK. We have a lot of clients from North America, particularly in the US. We have clients in every state. We also have a big bulk of our clients in Australia. So we've covered a lot of time zones there, no? So we operate 24 hours. So if you log into Slack, so we have a TaoCrowd Slack that you could log into and say, hey, I'm here, I'm available for projects. At any time of the day, typically there's somebody who's there to give a project. So their hours are yours, as a freelancer. You might be full-time freelancing right now. I know a lot of you are, where, you're getting projects from a lot of different sources. We want to be one of those sources for you. Or you might be a weekend warrior, right? Where you only want to do one project every Saturday night and maybe only once a month. So we're flexible.
Yeah.
For us, it's not about how much you work. It's when you want to work. And just saying that you're qualified and available to do so.
Okay, another one from YouTube. This one is from Ice Arajado from QC. Can I be both a designer and a writer and work on both teams' product areas?
So, hey, Ice, I know Ice personally, so, great to hear from you. And, of all people, you're qualified to probably do both design and writing. I'll let Noe speak to the writing aspect of it. But I would say if you pass the qualification for design, and Ice, I know you know Rachel as well, and I'm sure you're in that category, then absolutely I would say yes. And Noe, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. If you can write and you can design at the same time, we want you for sure. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, we look at the portfolio. Aside from the work experience of a freelancer or a partner, we look at the portfolio, what you've done previously, how it translates to what we do here as well. So it's really a mix of both. If you're good at both, that's good then. You can take on projects, writing projects and designing projects as well.
So we have a question from Facebook from Pam of Cebu. What happens when I underdeliver as a partner?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this is not an hourly based gig. So it's not, hey, I spent 20 hours, I'm going to get paid for 20 hours. In fact, the way we price out our projects is we might think, okay, this is a 20-hour project, but here is a deliverable that we're asking for the finished product. So if you finish a 20-hour project in 5 hours, good for you. You get paid for 20 hours, right? However, if you under-deliver, again, it's success-based, right? So you might have a tougher time on this project, and note, no, you have the project details before you even start, so you decide whether you can take it or not. But if you under-deliver, it will go back to you until you're finished with the project. So whereas you might finish the project really quickly and be very efficient, great, good for you. If you go over, we're gonna keep going back to you until it's done. So that's how we handle it.
Okay, another one from YouTube, from the same person, MCN from Pasig. What do we need to show you in order for us to be a member of your platform? Do you require a diploma certificate? How do you filter applicant?
Bernice, what do you think?
Yeah, well, going back to what I mentioned earlier, aside from, of course, the experience, which would definitely help a freelancer or a partner, your portfolio and then you giving us something to look at and review would definitely help. We're not very particular with your education, background, and none of that matters. What matters is what you can do. So basically, it's more of your quality as a person and not really the number of awards that you garner throughout your life.
Yeah, I just want to add real quick. Vic, you look at resumes every day. What are you looking for? Just to add on a bit to that question.
Oh, definitely ang tinitignan natin dyan is yung yung output niya, right?
Yeah.
And but the reality is, kaya importante na updated yung portfolio niyo. Make sure that, very basic, kailangan updated din yung contact number so that it'll be easier for us to reach out to you, no? Yeah, madalas portfolio tinitignan ko talaga because it's, I can put a lot of stuff sa CV ko, mukhaan ko ang galing-galing ko, pero at the same time, pwede palang sakto lang, right? So, ako, tinitignan ko talaga yung mga natapos mo ng gawa, and yeah.
Yeah, just to add, we have quite a few developers that haven't finished college that I would say are best developers. And, just looking on the real world, there's quite a few billionaires out of there that haven't finished college. So, to us, it's body of work.
Okay, so a question from Facebook, from Carla of Bacolod. So what kind of benefits do you have and how do I become eligible?
So, well, earlier I mentioned yung mga general benefits that you'll get once you become a successful freelancer and partner. So, while you level up within the community, until you reach, of course, the Hall of Fame, you receive medical benefits. One of those, of course, is the HMO under Medicard. And then, a tie-up with our Security Bank partnership is also life insurance. So, once you get your Security Bank MasterCard, automatic may life insurance na siyang kasama under FWD. And then, of course, teleconsultation. Under medical benefits, teleconsultation with our company doctor and our nurse as well. And co-working credits. So, once the world heals, we're all good to go back outside. And if you want a change of environment, you can come here at Loft. Depending on your level within the community, you'll have maybe 15 hours a month of Loft credits, 20 hours to 25 hours. You can come here, enjoy good coffee, network, mingle with other creatives and people of like-minded passion or maybe pursuit, and yeah, just expand your network personally.
Yeah, and dagdag ko din sa benefits, no? Aside from the health and yung co-working credits, all TaoCrowd partners will be given a G Suite account, sarili ng email, so you'll have your own G Drive then. You'll have access sa Slack. Alam ko marami na akong nakausap na members, partners now, tatanong kung paano daw mas mapapabilis yung communication, and I've been telling them, magkakaroon tayo ng Slack. So, yun. So, the reason for this, we want then, of course, we want na maging successful tayo in terms of communication and at the same time delivering yung projects natin.
Next question.
Okay, another question from Nathan. Hi, would this platform become something like Upwork, where the first guys or the top guys would be prioritized over the newer people who are trying to make in the freelance industry?
Right. Another good question. Number one is we're not algorithm based. Okay, so we are old school, manual checking and seeing and making calls, making texts, sending messages, seeing who's available. So it's a I don't want to say exclusive. It's a private group of people that's trusted. We know you're good at what you do, and we know your skill set after having worked with you, and we're trying to make sure that we keep it in a community feeling as much as possible. What will happen is we've already gotten interest from some of our affiliate companies, is other companies are going to want access to our TaoCrowd community, and we're going to be very careful about who we let in. Kasi sometimes, you have both sides of it, diba? You have mga fly-by-night companies, so, they might not be most reputable, they might not be stable, they might not know what they're doing. I feel like we have the answer to that. This is our 21st year, actually, this month. So we know what we're doing there. And the other side of it is that if you're a company, you want to work with, trusted, vetted, curated people, right? And that's the other side of it. We have an awesome people and culture team here today. They look at every single application, right? And then those applications go to hiring managers in the same way, like it's an interview process, right? So we have the same levels of standards that we have for our own people internally as with our TaoCrowd community.
So another question from Facebook, from Christian of Iloilo. So if I failed the application process for TaoCrowd, how soon can I join?
Great question. Hayes, do you want to answer that question?
Okay, for the application process, if if you failed for the first time, actually it's not failed or pass. It's no for now, but you can still reapply after 6 months. So that's the standard process.
Good to know that. More questions, I believe, from social media.
Oh yeah. So another question from YouTube. This one is from Leia Bolante. Do you have an infographic or guide about the tier system or leveling?
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. We do have a table that shows our leveling. I'm not sure if it's on the website yet, but infographics is a great idea. I think we'll definitely take that suggestion and get it on the website.
Yeah. We already have a playbook for TaoCrowd, so we have a guide about the leveling of each of the partners, what are the benefits, and then as you progress within the TaoCrowd community, ano yung mga benefits pa that will be added under your belt. So yeah, we'll definitely keep that in mind so that we can incorporate a friendlier version of the playbook to the website.
So a question from Jeff. To get a project, you'll have to raise your hand. Would that mean that there will be enough projects for all?
Interesting question. I think we want to be very picky, no? One of the reasons why we chose to source and make the decision to give 20% of our projects out is because we knew that unless we had a steady stream of projects, TaoCrowd couldn't survive, right? Because you're not going to check in if there's no projects, diba? So I think it's going to be us making sure that we've got the right pipeline of projects distributed to the right number of people in TaoCrowd. So it's something that we'll be checking on a weekly basis. And there may be a point where we probably stop accepting applications for a while because we don't have enough projects for our group. So, I just wanted you to know, my partners, John and Luigi, one thing we talked about is that even if we have the bandwidth internally within our company to get 100% of the projects done, we will still source out 20% of the projects. So that's our commitment to you.
Next question, please.
Okay, we have a lot of questions coming in from YouTube. So another one from Apple Kiwi Juice. Follow-up question, where do you get your clients? Do you have exclusive tie-ups and companies?
Yes, the answer is we do have some exclusive tie-ups with companies on long-term contracts. One great example is a financial website in Australia, where we have a team literally, and shout out to our CanStar team, is that we literally have a team of about I think roughly 19, 20 people right now working there full time. But in speaking to the board of that company, they want to grow. Their biggest investment will be in tech in 2021. They specifically said that. And the conversation that we had was that if that's their biggest investment, then we're not sure how the economy is going to be, right? Everything's uncertain. So there's a bigger push for people and companies to get projects out to freelancers and gigs right now. I think that's where the growth is going to come from.
Okay, we have a question from Chai from QC. So you mentioned about the ability of being a Hall of Famer. Are there additional benefits for these partners, and how do I become a Hall of Famer? Can you discuss further?
So what was mentioned a while ago is you become a Hall of Famer once you complete 25 successful projects. So regardless, kunyari ako, I completed 50 projects, but the only 20 of those were successful or were above or met the metrics, I won't level up to the Hall of Fame yet. But if I successfully complete 25 projects na maganda yung scores, perfect metrics, you met all the criteria, then that's the time that you level up within the Hall of Fame. And to add to the initial question earlier, we're going to add the tiering of the benefits in the website. So at least everyone, let's say aspiring applicants, existing partners, could take a look at it, review, and then maybe plot, oh, andito na pala ako, or oh, I'm almost at the Hall of Fame, and these are the benefits that will be granted to me soon. Of course, including the swag kit.
Yes, and that's our little token of thank you for the Hall of Famers and people who've been working particularly with Noe. I just want to add a little bit to that. Specifically, for Hall of Fame, you get 10 co-working credits. In other words, you can come into Loft 10 days a month, free. You need fast internet. You need to make a call. It doesn't matter if you're working on another client.
Yeah.
You can be working on whatever you want. Come in for coffee. We'd love to see and meet you, right? We also have computer vendor discounts. So the discounts we're getting as a company, because we're buying a lot of computers and whatnot, we want to pass those discounts on to you, right? So if you went to a store, you could buy a computer from PC Express. If you buy it from us, we're not trying to make any money off of it. You probably get a 15% discount just because we're leveraging our buying power, no? Moving forward, there's also a cash advance loan. So with our partnership with Security Bank, we're paying you through your Security Bank MasterCard. We're making deposits. Security Bank gives you the ability at any time to ask for a loan, and it's instant approval, right? Wow. So they look at the history of your bank account, and they say, okay, you're eligible for a loan. So obviously you have to have history to get approved, no?
Yeah.
So you have to be doing projects every month, and we have to be depositing to that account. They're going to look at that. They have an automated procedure, and I've already seen people starting to get loans from that.
Wow, that's great. Next question.
Okay, actually Bernice has a fan. Hi Bernice.
Hello.
This is from Stephen Peña. Are the freelancers will communicate directly to the clients?
Hello, Stephen. Oh, he's my former coworker. Anyway, yes, freelancers will communicate directly with the division heads, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Noe?
Yes, you'll be communicating directly with whichever group head you will be dealing with, as well as either editors or team leads with Dev Central or Design Hub, but not with the clients.
Yes.
We'll handle that bit.
Next question is going to be coming from?
From Rafael Payumo. How many business days are the team going to respond after sending the applications to the website?
What do you think on that, Vic?
Well, normally, we treat it like an ordinary application. And normally, ang applications natin, longest will be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And mabilis na yung 1 week. I'm just being realistic. I don't want to ayaw mangako na 3 araw tapos hindi tayo matapos, right? And the reason is syempre we're gonna do proper screening. We want to make sure that when we bring you in dun sa program or sa communities that you're designed na maging successful to take on this project. So so portfolio review, of course there'll be a bunch of interviews around with the PNC, interview session with the division head. So just to answer your question, 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah. Follow-up question on that. Assuming that you get in, when do you get your first project? Does that start right away, Noe?
Well, your first project, which will be the paid test project, yes, you will get that immediately. And then after that, we will discuss how many you can do as well in a week, just so I have an idea.
Right. And then out of 100 people that apply, what's a typical acceptance rate, Bernice?
For out of 100 people, after the screening process, the interview with us, and with the division heads, I'd say around 10 to 20%, because we look at everything. We not only, of course, your work experience, but your portfolio, maybe the skills, and of course, given that these roles are quite technical, there's also skills testing, so we do consider that as well.
So since I'm hearing payment, I have a question from Apple, from Guest. So how is the payout for the project?
Yeah, Vic, what do you think on that?
Yeah, for TaoCrowd partners, ine-enroll sila automatic sa Security Bank para magkaroon sila ng ATM. This way, the payout is faster. So cut-offs usually 11 to 25th. So ito yung para sa 30th na cut-off, yung katapusan. Para sa quincena, yung cut-off net will be on the 26th at 10th. Now, kunwari, bagong apply, natanggap, syempre yung ATM, hindi naman agad darating yan, right? Ang gagawin na ngayon is yung payment will be, kung ano yung, we'll ask you kung ano yung meron kang existing na bank account, tapos we'll just do a deposit there.
So no problem with that. So let's go back to our social media questions.
Okay, so another one from YouTube. Hi, do you accept junior WordPress developers that would like to level up their experience and contribute to the best of their abilities? Thank you.
Yeah. Wala, to be honest, wala talaga kaming, we don't limit kung sino yung pwede naming makatrabaho. No? Going back, our focus is to provide projects sa mga tech freelancers natin. So, if you have the right portfolio, regardless if, you're 1 year, 10 years, right? If mag-match yung portfolio mo with what we are currently looking for, then yeah, more than happy to have you on board.
A question from Mia of Marikina. Would you be offering additional projects in the future, say relating to finance or accounting or others?
Yeah, that's a great question too. We currently actually have started releasing a financing project. We have actually Kim, who joined our team, doing accounting work and audit work. So I think that ultimately we want to start with creative projects. That's really our core. That's what we're always going to have samples of. But I completely imagine it growing to a number of different roles, as we grow and as we build our community.
Next question.
Okay, another one from YouTube. When can we start sending application credentials and portfolios?
Now.
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 Now na. No, anytime. I mean, send it now. Of course, once we have it, then we'll review it.
Yeah.
Right after
Bring
this.
friends. Refer friends.
Vic will be reviewing your applications right after this.
1 to 2 weeks.
I want to throw in, we really like working within our network, so we're doing a small token, a small GC for every successful referral, so it's not just giving a name, dapat pass sila, So if they pass, we will credit your account with a GC, a coffee kind of certificate GC.
Next question.
From Ina. If there's leveling, will we be given a set of metrics to hit per month?
I believe for all the projects that we'll be giving out, lahat naman sila may set of metrics that, of course, you'll need to review first before you sign up. Just so your expectations are set that these are the kind of things that you need to hit in order for this project to be called successful. So yes, all projects have metrics. Para lang then, it's very transparent for our partners that this is the quality of work we're looking for. So yeah, there.
Okay, another one from YouTube. This one is from Tres Viajeros Vlogs. Upon client's payment, will you charge a service fee?
We actually don't base it on client payment. We base it on the fact that you've accepted the project and you've completed the project. So the client is irrelevant. We're basically funding the work and making sure that you get paid even if we don't get paid.
Okay, good to know that. Next
So
question.
we have a question from Franklin. Do you also have UI or UX projects?
Yeah, I believe so. We do have one. We are looking for, when we say we're looking for designers and web developers, that could actually be a range of projects. Now, maybe start from scratch of a website to just the UI, UX, or the front-end web development. As well as, we also added yung mga QA specialists now because we're seeing a lot of projects that would need QA. And then when we say QA, kailangan talaga top-notch and making sure that these will be flawless because we don't want the clients to take a look at them and say, oops, merong hindi gumagana, and all that. So yeah.
Okay, another one from YouTube. This one is from Joy Meneses. How many weeks will we wait if we're hired or not?
Vic?
Well, feedback usually are given right after. No? At most, it'll probably take 2 to 3 days. But I know we do everything to make it instantaneously.
If you don't pass, do we let them know?
Yes, we do let them know. We contact them either via SMS, usually via email as well. At least everything's documented, and we're very transparent that, okay, for now, you did not pass yet, but let's revisit after 6 months. Let's see where we're at, and you could apply again. And then maybe you've expanded your portfolio or your work experience during that time. So definitely welcoming naman. No
So
closed doors.
it's not really a no, but just not now.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
Next
Question
question.
from Pam again. So what's the TaoCrowd community like? Its culture?
We're building the culture as we speak, you know. So I think it's an extension of the August '99 culture. You know, we look at ourselves as a family. Even throughout the pandemic, I think we stayed together as a group.
Yes.
I'm super proud of the team that we have in the fact that when we decided, even at the beginning of it, hey, what's happening? We went for reduced hours, right? So rather than layoffs or terminations or any of that stuff. And we bounced back very quickly. In fact, I think within a month. And then we're now, I think the next month we were hiring 20 people, So we went from, hey, what's going to happen to, hey, we're hiring and let's look within our family. So the TaoCrowd community, the way we're looking at it is almost like these are the group of people that we trust that are part-time. Period, right? And some of those people might want to eventually become full-time. So we're looking at kind of like, hey, this is also working with somebody who down the line, maybe they go, hey, I'm looking for some of the full benefits of being an employee, right? Or I'm looking for a stable job that I don't have to always constantly be looking for gigs. So we're going to look within that community first, even before we put out a job ad. So that's the goal of TaoCrowd. It's kind of your entry door into our culture.
Okay, another one from YouTube. This one is from Nathaniel Dasco. Mababait ba ang project manager niyo?
No, we can yet.
No, we.
Here.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, we have a culture of respect. So. Yes, mababait po sila. Of course, you will need to, submit things on time and be mabait yourself. But definitely, yeah, you'll get along with people for sure.
So no need to worry. At hindi kailangang matakot. They don't bite. They will challenge you, but they will not bite you. Next question.
So a follow-up from Pam. So how do you engage partners within the community?
Great question. So one thing that we decided to do and invest in is, here we're actually in Loft. It's a co-working space, and inside Loft we have a team of community managers. And lately, flex space is not as much about going to a place. Everything's work from home, no? So what we did is we moved 2 people into our dojo division. One, I'm sure she's here, listening. Her name's Mia. And the second is Chai. Hey, Mia and Chai. And so when projects come in, the job of a community manager, which is another big difference from us and platforms, is we literally have somebody who's going, okay, we have 100 projects to go out today. Who do we get those to, right? Without having a division head or a manager trying to figure out who it goes to. Secondly, when the project goes out to that person, it's a community manager going, hey, how are we doing on that project? Are we on time? Just kind of making that touch. Third, as we get Tao Academy and we do online events and we're doing a monthly talk like this, every month, is even if we're meeting virtually, we want to make sure that there's still that community vibe.
Yeah.
I feel bad sometimes with platforms where, you're just a number and you just get work done and you're in and out, and I think that we're the anti-platform. We'd rather, let's develop that relationship, and if we form a trusted partnership together, that's why we call them TaoCrowd partners in the first place. We don't say contractors, we don't say vendors, is that we're building that relationship for the long term.
Next question.
Okay, another one from YouTube. May I ask if the developer you need is like a full stack developer?
Well, definitely, it would help if you know back-end and front-end, since most of the projects would actually require knowledge on both. But once you get in, let's say you're only knowledgeable with front-end or you're only knowledgeable with back-end, and then there are existing projects to work on, then of course, we do accept them. We're, like I said, we're very skills-based, portfolio-based. We don't discriminate based on, ito lang siya right now so come back again. No, we want you guys to try and apply and of course show us what you've got. If you're very confident with my skill set, we are confident with your experience and my portfolio, then why not give it a shot?
Right. And just to add to that, we have a ton of one-day projects. No?
Yeah.
Davis, he's one of the speakers and probably listening in today. But you know, a lot of the one-day projects we're giving are really design conversions. You know, for developers, this is probably on the easy end.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's full,
Full
FSD
yeah.
material, right? But in the company, we do have a lot of full-stack developers, and these are obviously longer-term projects. They're sprints and whatnot, and our CTO Bern can probably speak to some of that. But for right now, I think our launch is we're focusing on the very quick projects, very quick gigs, right? And full stack development is long term. It's 2 week sprints, as a lot of you know. I think we're going to get there, but the starting point is something easier.
Okay, a question from Nico of QC. What if I have multiple projects and it's already payday, but there's still some revisions left? Do I still get paid?
Number one, we don't allow multiple projects. Okay, that's another big difference, right? So we want to deal with people. We don't want to deal with agencies, right? Who have teams of people, and we want you to finish your project before you take on the next project. So that's number one. So I think just from that perspective alone, the moment you complete a project, as Vic said, within a time frame, you get paid, pretty much instantly, within weeks, no? Well, that's not instantly, no? It's within a cutoff period. But Noe, maybe you can speak a little bit to that on how we deal with writers and how the payment process works with your group.
Yeah. Okay. So as Vic mentioned, we have a cutoff. You get paid essentially the same time as full-time employees in the company. So every mid-month and end of the month. And a project that you've completed within that time, and completed means an editor has taken a look at it and has sent it ahead to the client, then you will get paid. All right. So eventually, sometimes, very rarely, I must say, I have a really good group right now. Something might come back for revision, but there will be a time frame for that, right? So you're not gonna have to work on something 6 months from now that you already finished and completed, So it's just gonna be, I'm not sure what it says in the contract, maybe a month or something like that. You'll see it when it's there. But yeah, so if you've completed it, you will get paid if it's within the cutoff.
Yeah, and then going back to what Tiger said about multiple projects, initially during the conversation, we said that we'd want you guys to work on projects at your own time. So we don't want you guys to compromise by accepting multiple projects at the same time, because that's gonna compromise your productivity, your work output, your health, your sanity. We don't know, diba? So yeah, basically once you finish a project, you're done. You're gonna get another one. You're balanced. Yeah.
Okay, another question from Nathaniel Dasco. If selected po, provided nyo din ba ang softwares na gagamitin?
That's a really good question. So the idea is you're still freelancing. You still have your own equipment. You're still relatively using your software set. So if you're a full-time employee, we'd provide you with Photoshop, Illustrator, and whatnot. But as a TaoCrowd partner, you're expected to use your own stuff, unless it's required to do the job. So for example, for designers, we have a stock photo collection, right? We would give you access to that stock photo. You wouldn't have to purchase that as a separate license. No? What Vic also said earlier is we're going to give you a TaoCrowd.com email address upon passing. And within that email address, you have cloud storage, you can communicate, you can do video chat. So there's a whole suite of tools that G Suite provides that we pay for. So to a certain level, we will provide you with software that's absolutely essential, but others you're expected to do in your own profession, right? No, so.
A question from Rain. Good morning. For QA specialists, can you please give a quick process on how you do the evaluation and maybe the KPIs as well?
So for the QAs, of course, after you pass your application, give us your resume, your portfolio, and all that, there's a skills test that we coordinate with you and then the group heads as well. And then after you pass that skills test, that's the time that we set you up for an interview with the tech managers to know more, of course, about you, and then what are your other qualifications that weren't reflected during the skills test, and maybe what are your expectations as well. And then going back to what Vic said earlier, at least give us 1 week to 2 weeks to process everything. But definitely for all the roles that we're currently hiring for, my technical skills test, so that we also can gauge your knowledge and your expertise so far.
Next question.
Okay, another one from YouTube from Tres Viajeros Vlogs. Are you going to use time monitoring softwares while freelancers are working?
No, we don't.
Great question. We don't, right, as of right now. I think eventually, so again, it's deliverable based, no? So we don't care if you finish your project quick or if you take long to finish it, as long as you finish it by the deadline. We have, thrown around the idea. We have our internal software that we've developed. It's called QTime, that we've been using to track our own, full-time, staff, no? But I think we have it on our playbook, but we're not actively using it because everything that we're doing is not hourly based, it's deliverable based.
So question from Joy. For designers, is there a limit for revisions?
Oh, I wish Rachel were here to answer that. I know Rachel's watching, so I don't want to speak out of turn here. So Rach, if you're there, if you could answer that question on chat, we'll get back to you and we'll put it on our website.
Yeah.
Okay, another one from YouTube. I'm just curious, can you give us a sneak peek how much does an average web developer, hardworking, earns in average per month?
That's a really tough question because I can give you the philosophy behind it, right? So we know that at the very core, you're a freelancer, you're a contractor, you don't know where your next gig is coming from. So there's a premium on the fact that you're not a full-time employee. Yeah. So what we do is we apply a percentage to that, and we know that you're also taking on a lot of your own costs, right? So we make sure that our projects that we're giving away are always more than what we would do if you're full-time. So obviously there's a benefit for being full-time. It's steady work. You're not worried, you're not stressing about your next day and whatnot. And then there's also benefit to freelancing. But I would say there's also a certain stress level that you're always, hey, where's my next gig coming from? So we try to solve that in a little bit of a way where we're trying to do a steady stream of projects, but at the same time, it's still not guaranteed. So your question on to how much I'm gonna make, it's really how much are you gonna put in, right? And then how many projects are gonna be available. But if you were to work full-time, based on what I just said, the calculation should be you're making more than you're making in a full-time job, assuming that all of the projects are there and you're filling 100% of your time, right?
So question from Mark. During hiring process, is there any possibility to have an interview face-to-face with the managers?
Currently, we've already embraced a distributed or work from anywhere setup, so which allows us, of course, to continuously work from home, or if you're near the area, from time to time, maybe drop by here at Loft to work here instead. But to answer the question, currently all interviews are done via Google Meet, just for us to stay on the safe side of course, physical and social distancing at, of course, a time like this.
Next
Okay,
question.
another one from Dress. How many articles and number of words does a typical freelance writer will work on per week?
It's up to you. I have people who take on just 3 pages per week. I have people who can do up to 10 if they want to. So essentially, it's up to you. It has to be good, of course, but if you're a monster and you can do 5 a day, good for you. We want you. But yeah, you decide.
Okay, ready for the next question?
Question from Jeff. Since TaoCrowd works like a company but freelance, does this mean freelancers can ask for proof of work from TaoCrowd?
Wow, what a great question. So, for full-time employees, we give certificates of employment, right? So I think we can give a certificate of something, but partnership, but it wouldn't be a full-time employment. No, what certificate would that be, Bernice?
maybe some sort of certificate identification that you're in a contract.
Right.
Because all our successful signups will need to sign a non-disclosure agreement before signing off the project brief. So I think a certificate of identification or something that you're an active partner under TaoCrowd.
Yeah.
But it's in the works.
Yes. Got us with that one.
Put that in mind. Definitely. Next question.
Okay, another one from Philip from Cavite. What are the minimum requirements for?
So for developers, going back, we definitely would look at your portfolio. Aside from all the skills that you listed, that you're good at this particular programming language and all that, we want to see them translated into your portfolio. So maybe some of your projects were NDA, so hindi mo pwedeng ma-disclose or hindi mo pwedeng mapakita. Maybe you have personal projects or that you were able to delve on during your spare time and all that. Those would also definitely help. Yeah, there.
Next.
Okay, I think this is for Noe. Can we limit revisions per project? Or do you have like a limit of
Yes,
revisions?
for our TaoCrowd partners, yes, we do. So per project, that's 2 revisions. So far, I haven't had a second revision yet. But yeah, we try to be reasonable as well.
Next question, please.
Okay, another question from YouTube. Do you have a micromanaging culture? This one is from Tres Viajer.
I would say no.
Yeah,
You know,
we do.
especially, you know, for us, we want qualified people that can think on their feet and make their own decisions. So I would say no. What do you think? What do you say?
I would say
Yeah.
no. I mean, working with August 99 for a year now. All the people here have been a joy to work with, different personalities, but they could adjust, and you'll definitely learn from their management style. But micromanaging, I would say no, especially for our TaoCrowd freelancers. Given that, even though you're a fresh grad, but used to ka na with freelancing, alam mo na kung paano mag-deal with clients, we expect that once you read the project brief, you're responsible enough to follow through, maybe reach out if something's unclear, but definitely with micromanaging, we don't actually do that. We do give feedback and suggestions, but not to the point that we're behind your neck and checking you from time to time. So no.
Ready for the next?
This is for Rach again, but if ever anyone can answer. For designers, do you have a design system that we need to follow for our projects?
I think this applies to any type of project, though, right? We do have a project brief for every type of project. So you know, it's in our best interest and yours to make sure that you have all of the information and assets at hand and understand the project that you're getting into before you make the check mark and say, I'm going to do it and I'm going to be responsible for it. You know, so even if you felt that something was unclear before you accepted a project, sure, we want to make sure all those questions are answered. And, you know, in a perfect world, you know, we've done our job in describing everything to a certain level of detail that you don't need to ask any further questions. In fact, I think that happens a lot, especially with, you know, guys that have been working with us for a long time. No, it's really just pass it on, and next day we're like, all right, great, awesome.
That's all the touch points usually. Just beginning and end. Sometimes I ask, especially if it's like a super important or super strict deadline project, you know, you think you're going to be able to get this back to me on the date we agreed on, etc. But most of the time, nah.
Right.
I contact you with it, and then you get back to me. I don't ask you if you're going to do it today or whatever, as long as you get it back to me on the day that we agreed on.
Right. But pag rookie, you know, like just starting and everything,
Yeah.
do you generally expect a lot of questions?
Yeah, they do have a lot of questions. And, well, it's not just me answering, so that's good.
Right.
And we will answer it. We're using Basecamp as our task management platform. So that's where you'll be getting your tasks. So on Slack, you'll be like getting a preview of the tasks available. And then it's on Basecamp where the content brief, for example, or the design brief is going to be. So that's the system right now. And if you have questions, then Basecamp is designed to answer that, you know. So you just type it in there, and somebody will respond.
Speaking of questions, do you have more?
Okay, another one from YouTube. This one is from Carl Eric Cortez. Hi, is office work required when we go back to normal?
Well, technically, no. We just mentioned earlier na August 99 is already work from anywhere. So if you feel that, oh, I'm very productive working remotely, then that's fine. That's good for you. But if you feel that I need a change of scenery, I want to go out and maybe see 2 to 10 people a day, you can go here at Loft. But to answer the question, no, we're not gonna require someone to be here so that we could see them while they work. No.
Basically, whatever works for you,
Yes, basically.
go for it.
Uh-huh.
Next question.
So a question from Nui from Pamo again. So when you look at the writer's portfolio, aside from good command of the English language, do you also look at the content's SEO?
SEO is secondary for us. The primary thing is whether or not I want to read it. If it's engagingly written, and if it looks like you can adapt to the voice of the client, because we have a wide range of clients, so our writers need to be able to adapt to the tone of voice that a particular client wants. So we have an SEO team that takes care of SEO and gives us guidelines, which we also send to our freelance writers, right? But as for the optimization and how you did it on that page, that's not something I look at.
Okay, so we have time for just one last question, and it's going to be coming from...
From Ariel Ignace Jr. Will there be conflict in having a freelance job in TaoCrowd and having a regular full-time job as a developer in a different company?
Another fantastic question. There is no conflict at all. Actually, we expect it. You could definitely be doing anything you want with your own time.
Yeah.
Again, you can take as little or as many projects as you want, as long as you're doing one at a time. I think the only conflict is right now we don't allow our own staff right now to take on TaoCrowd projects within August 99. So if you work with August 99, the answer is there is a conflict. Until later, we might decide that it's allowed. But for right now, there's absolutely no conflict if you work for another company.
All right, and that ends our Q&A. But don't worry, if you have more questions, which I believe marami pa tayong tanong online, just keep sending them in. We will answer through our website. And with that, I'd like to thank our panel. How about we give them a round of applause? Maraming salamat to our panel. And of course, for our viewers, thank you very much for joining us. We hope you had fun and you enjoyed this launch. And again, if you haven't submitted your applications yet, please do so. Just check out TaoCrowd.com. And on behalf of TaoCrowd team, I would like to thank you for joining us this morning. Again, my name is Apple David. Have a nice day. God bless, and we hope to see you at TaoCrowd.